We cannot have a say-so. We cannot show emotion. We have to sit here and act as if we do not care about anything that anybody says.
When you guys like when they come out, Chicago flip red, bitch standing on business in Chicago. Listen to them. When they say don't leave, don't leave. There was too many people in the room for them to come do something.
You can't have a voice. They don't want you to speak up with the injustice that's happening in the black community.
I don't think that it's a good look for an alderperson to, one, hit law enforcement officers. I don't think that she belongs in this position. The bottom line is she's an activist.
Since Supermayor Tiffany Hayard got the boot, you think things will calm down in the south suburbs, but nah.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Getting up at press conference, talking about nothing. Learn the laws. I tell y'all that all the time. Learn from me. But because I'm younger than all y'all think y'all can't learn from me, huh?
Just 15 minutes away, and Harvey, Mayor Christopher Clark, says, you know what? Hold my gavel. What you're about to see is some straight up deja vu. A mayor obsessed with control, silencing critics, and even having his own alderwoman arrested multiple times. So today we're going to dive into the latest mess coming out of Harvey, Illinois, where democracy shows up, but definitely got kicked out of the room for clapping. Let's get into it.
Yeah, absolutely, Scott and Don. What a show indeed. Let me set the scene for you as well as for our viewers. Mayor Christopher Clark was not playing any games. He warned attendees in advance if there were any disruptions at tonight's meeting that he would indeed kick everyone out of the meeting. And that's exactly what happened. Take a look at tonight's city council meeting. Harvey residents once again frustrated with Mayor Christopher Clark's practices, calling them, quote, illegal, unfair, and unjust. The room packed with supporters of Second Ward Alderwoman Colby Chapman. I'll tell you why shortly.
So let's just get some ground rules if you haven't been familiar with this story. So this is Harvey, Illinois, not exactly the first place you think of when someone says a hotbed of political chaos. It's kind of similar to Dalton, where there's a lot of corruption, there's a lot of issues in the area. And this is not just about one chaotic meeting either. Mayor Clark has a string of controversies. So from alleging retaliation against city employees who question his decisions to accusations of shady financial moves, this man has built a track record that is basically rivaling the super mayor.
Tension in suburban Harvey continues to grow. Residents taking their fight to the street in a peaceful protest.
Where are the licenses?
Finally, outside Harvey's Municipal Center, residents holding signs. One of them saying, quote, Mayor Clark is worse than Tiffany Hayard.
Damn, they're not playing around with that one. There have been concerns about contracts going out without proper oversight, politically motivated firings, and the aggressive policing of city council meetings, as you guys are going to see in a couple of seconds, all adding to the growing narrative that Clark's more interested in control than community. And we cannot forget about the public outcry over closure of certain services, local programs being quietly stripped away, or the alleged mishandling of city funds some watchdogs have been trying to investigate. So a lot of people believe that this is not a random situation. It's a formula: control the narrative, silence critics, and consolidate power. That's why the heat is rising. The mayor is not just dealing with the pushback, he is creating it. And every controversy adds another log to the fire that's slowly burning away. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know that we covered Mayor Christopher Clark a few times. And like I said before, some folks even say that Harvey is worse than Dalton. And considering what we have seen for the super mayor, that is saying a lot. Christopher Clark, who clearly missed the memo on what public service means, has turned these meetings into hostile territory for anyone with a question, a complaint, or even a slow clap. So this last meeting, it was packed. Most of them were there to support Second Ward Alderwoman Colby Chapman. And you guys are going to see exactly why they're supporting her in the first place. Let's continue to check it out.
Now, during public comments, residents asked for transparency on spending. They complained about water bill increases without notification. They also said their rights to address concerns were being censored. Mayor Clark cleared the packed room about 20 minutes in after someone began clapping.
And again, I encourage you all to speak up and stand up and consider to come to meetings. Because things are happening and it's under our nose, and that is not right, that is not democracy. If it continues, there needs to be a change to the administration.
All right, guys, get up. We're gonna go now.
Can you stand on these sides for 10 minutes, please? Ladies and gentlemen, y'all swear you know
happened, y'all. It's a lawsuit. It's a lawsuit. It's a lawsuit. Y'all don't even have a law. Tornadoes, we have to stand outside until he feels that he can come back in. And it's usually because people leave. So then that means we don't have to deal with it. He wants you guys gone, he don't want you guys to put this out so that the world can see. They work for you, and it's not the other way around. They work for you. It is not the other way around. They work for you. You pay their salary. Period. It ain't fucking intimidating. They pay y'all salary. Open this damn door. That's wrong.
You cannot clap with Mayor Christopher Clark. He is not playing. If you guys been checking out Dalton and a lot of those meetings way back in the day, that had a chief by the name of Louis Lacey, and he did not like any clapping either. He wanted to clear the room if people were going to continue to make noise, you know, show any level of emotion, maybe just show some enthusiasm. Being in these meetings, maybe you want to clap, maybe you want to cheer when someone says something that you agree with. But apparently, this type of thing doesn't happen in these meetings. Clark does not deal with it at all. Like what the reporter said earlier, he does not play around. Because Mayor Clark is already on high alert. He warned everyone that if there was going to be any distractions, he'll shut it all down. And then someone clapped. Clapping. Yeah. The same thing folks do when they see a kid graduate, or maybe when